Today I got my hands on the latest Android flagship phone, the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. Personally, I really like the great looks and nice straight screen, but as a gamer, I was more curious to see how this flagship phone with the Gen 3 chip would perform in gaming. Since I got a global version, I picked up the OnePlus 12 global version for comparison. And please note that the Samsung S24 Ultra even adapts an OC version of the chipset. So technically, the Samsung model might be able to squeeze this chipset to its full potential. Anyway, let's check out how they compete with each other. First of all, Genshin Impact test, S24 Ultra performed very strangely in the first round. The frame rate is not very stable and there's even some strange lag. This should not be the performance of an Gen 3 phone. To find out the reason, I opened the game booster, I turned on the game performance management within the labs, and downloaded Samsung's official game plugins, and then manually chose to focus on performance in Genshin Impact. And finally, I could rerun the test. Now let's see what happened. There are some improvements, but well, now let's just leave it alone and let's see how the OnePlus 12 performs. Obviously, if we compare it to the S24 Ultra, OnePlus 12 has the edge. The gaming on OnePlus 12 is less fluctuated with less lag. For example, when moving the viewpoint quickly or engaging in an intense fight, the OnePlus still delivers smooth graphics for vivid actions and special effects. I also have gaming on both phones for 30 minutes as a lasting test, which is a test of both performance and cooling ability. Overall, the gaming experience is weird on S24 Ultra. It fluctuated a lot, lags during the game are perceivable, and the body temperature is high. On the contrary, the OnePlus 12 can maintain a high frame rate close to 60 most of the time, but after 10 minutes of full strength, the performance was throttling down and locking at the frame rate at 45 fps for a while. Clearly, OnePlus set a temperature trigger. When it reaches the limit, it will cut the output a bit and lower the frame rates so as to bring the body temperature down. And meanwhile, it also maintained smooth gaming throughout most of the running without much fluctuation. Between these two, no doubt the gaming experience on the OnePlus is much smoother. But please don't forget the Pixelworks X7 chip built into the OnePlus 12 is helping with the gaming experience. In Genshin Impact, Pixelworks X7 can support the gameplay with two features: the Adaptive Frame Booster and Hyper Resolution. Adaptive Frame Booster simply means that Pixelworks S7 analyzes the frames before and after that particular frame and then insert the frames calculated by the chip to increase the frame rate. In Genshin Impact, there are two kinds of frame insertion options. One is from 30 fps to 60 fps, and the other is from 40 fps to 120 fps. With Adaptive Frame Booster turned on, the game frame rate can reach 120 fps, and the good news is that since the GPU renders at a native frame rate of 40, which reduces power consumption during gameplay, there's no chance of throttling performance due to high temperatures. And since the game is running at 120 fps, the game is smoother compared to native 60 fps on any other phone. Here is a completely different gaming experience for the S24 Ultra and the boosted OnePlus 12. The latter has smoother motions with higher frame rates, though some object edges might be a bit blurry when fast moving. And please keep in mind that they are powered by the same chipset, and the Samsung model even comes with an OC variant of the Gen 3. But here the true difference inside is that the OnePlus 12 has optimized around the Pixelworks solution with an X7 visual processor. The gap between these two phones is hard to detect here, and actually, it might take more sense to discuss latency for shooting games. So here we go, without activating the frame booster, the two phones have almost the same low latency for FPS games, which is probably the best level of the latest Android flagships. But here the OnePlus 12 steps further with the Pixelworks X7 processor, which offers a high frame rate with low latency at the same time. While activating the 60 to 120 frame booster feature, the latency on the OnePlus 12 is only increased by about 20 milliseconds. I invited my fellows to experience it again, and none of them couldn't instantly feel the tiny gap between these two phones, which by far is only noticeable in such slow motion videos. It is worth noting that both the S24 Ultra and the OnePlus 12 have a 720p gaming resolution for games like Genshin Impact. For now, probably no Android game can fully utilize the 1440p resolution of the phones, and especially a waste for the Samsung model's super display, as we still have the hyper resolution on the OnePlus 12, which can more or less bring better graphic details and sharpness in games. And these improved texture details are so accurate and natural that you'd be hard to believe that it's relying on an independent visual processor to accelerate the rendering in real time. So now things have changed. The OnePlus 12, which was slightly behind in terms of visuals, wins the competition with hyper resolution turned on, and we must give some credit to Pixelworks S7 processor. Besides the frame rate, dimming strategy is also important in long-time gaming. The Galaxy S24 Ultra uses 492Hz PWM dimming at all stages, while the OnePlus 12 uses 2160Hz PWM dimming at low brightness and DC-like dimming at mid to high brightness. If you are sensitive to flickers, the OnePlus 12 will be more suitable. As for their gaming power consumption, the facts are quite interesting. If without the gaming booster features, the OnePlus 12 would consume more power than the S24 Ultra. Although we have to put up with this disappointing game experience, at least it saves up 0.6 watt of power output. But that's not all there is to this comparison. What if we put on their gaming booster features? Well, things got completely different. When we activated Lab's gaming feature on the S24 Ultra and turned on the 2 gaming booster features on the OnePlus 12 as well, they actually had the same power output. And please note that OnePlus 12 has both boosted 120fps frame rates and more detailed graphics, yet reduces power output by 0.5 watt. If you've seen our last video, this isn't hard to understand. Thanks to the assistance of Pixelworks S7 processor, the power-consuming chipset only needs to render gaming images at 40fps to get a 120fps screen-side game experience, while the power consumption required by the X7 processor is negligible. So for gamers, the frame booster feature is really a nice power-saving switch. Okay, let's quickly go through the charging and battery. The Samsung S24 Ultra has a 5000 mAh battery with up to 45 watt charge, while the OnePlus 12 has a 5400 mAh battery with up to 100 watt of charging. There's no charge included in S24 Ultra's package, but the good news is that the S24 Ultra will support PD protocols, so it's not difficult to buy a suitable 45 watt charger. Anyway, the OnePlus 12 took only 23 minutes to collect back 100% power, while the S24 Ultra took 74 minutes. One detail worth noting is that S24 Ultra can show the remaining charging time while charging and is quite accurate. So that's what we got from these two phones about gaming. To be honest, we didn't expect such a big gap between the two, and we didn't intentionally exaggerate or downplay either one of them. We did search a lot about a Samsung premium phone. This is not a problem with this S24 Ultra. Samsung has been sticking to this strategy for a couple of years now, and we can see the same problem again with the S23 Ultra. If you have to take a gamble on S24, you can only expect Samsung's developers to push software updates with new performance solution in the future. But it's anyone's guess whether the S25 will go on sale first or the new solution will be pushed out first. On the contrary, the OnePlus 12 with Pixelworks S7 visual processor has become my main device for daily Android gaming. It's even more than what I expected before. Pixelworks did bring its IRX gaming experience to mobile gamers, a new experience that goes beyond the traditional mobile rendering solutions, such as smoother motion and more detailed graphics for long-lasting gamings. So I pretty understand that some of you might argue that it's an unfair competition. Anyway, we're enjoyed all the tests here, but let us know your thoughts in the comment. We'll see you next time.